All right, guys, to finish up this section, I kind of talked to you a little bit yesterday. It's going to be kind of the reverse. Yesterday, you had the problem, you factored it, you were able to find the answers. Today, here's the answers. Take it back to factored form, take it back to the original. Okay? So, what is a cubic polynomial function with the zeros -3, 3, and 4? What's it mean if it says they are zeros? What are they? They're the answers. They're the answers. All right, so we need to kind of take this backwards. We knew yesterday all of our equations were y equals. We always replace that y with a 0 when we were solving, but if I'm writing the equation, it's y equals. What parenthesis or what factored form does -3 come from? X plus 3. Right, if you had x plus 3, you'd be like, oh, the answer is -3. So it's always the opposite. Where does a positive 3 come from? X minus 3. And 4. There we go. Questions on how we just set that up? We just kind of took the opposite and plugged them back in. All right. For whatever reason, a lot of students do that, and they're like, yep, done. You're not done. That's part of it, but we're not done. So then you need to multiply the last factors together with FOIL. I hate that word, but I know you guys know what it means. And then you'll just continue doing that back like through your problem until everything's multiplied. Okay? Now, truly you could start anywhere. Like I could multiply these first two together, get an answer, and then multiply it here. Me personally, though, I like to start with the back two. That way, as I kind of drop it down, my stuff's just coming in the front. Right? Normally, like we like to distribute from the front through, right? I wouldn't like to go backwards. So I start with the back two. Let's multiply these together. X times x. X times -4. -3 times x. -3, -4. Positive 12. Put your like terms together. X squared minus 7x plus 12. So I just multiplied two of them together. Have I touched the x plus 3 yet? No. So what should I do with them? Don't add, but bring them down. X plus 3. And now let's multiply those together. Today's not necessarily hard. It's just tedious. If you miss one sign, you're in trouble. So just try to take your time. So now we're going to multiply here. X times x squared. X times -7x. X times 12. 3 times x squared. 3 times -7x is -21x. And 3 times 12 is 36. Now, a couple things hopefully you've noticed. Some of you I know like when you multiply, you put things in this giant line. That's fine. You can. I don't like to, because then it gets harder for me to like look and see which ones go together. If you notice when I was distributing, I made sure that I lined up my like terms. Takes up less space lengthwise, and it's a lot faster to find your like terms this way. So we have x cubed minus 4x squared gives me a -9x, and then plus 36. So we really just kind of undid everything that we learned yesterday. Great, right? Now, the directions, usually when you see this, say to write the polynomial equation in standard form. I need to make sure you're understanding the difference. This is standard form. What's this form that we started in? That's factored form. Factored form has your parentheses, standard form right here. Okay? And I always want them in standard form. How are we feeling so far? All right, I got a thumbs up. Thank you. Let's try the next one. What is a cubic polynomial function with the zeros -5, 0, and 2? All right. So I just need to go ahead and let's y equals. Where does -5 come from? X plus 5. Where does 0 come from? Just an x, right? When we said it would be x equals 0. So yeah, there's just an x out front. Do I know whether or not there's like a 3x, 5x? I don't know. And at this point, I don't care. But I know there's an x out front. All right, and then what about 2? It's minus 2. What form is it in right now? Factored form. I want it in standard form. So what do we have to do? Distribute. Thank you for not saying FOIL. All right. Again, I like to start with the back and kind of work my way forward. X times x. X times negative 2. 5 times x. 5 times negative 2. It's all right. And then put our like terms together. I hadn't yet used that little x out in front. Hadn't multiplied him yet. And then we just need to distribute him throughout here. X times x squared. X times 3x. X times negative 10. Any like terms? Nope. And we are done. So, hard concept today? Just multiplying. It's tedious. And once we look at the next one, you're going to really hate how tedious it is. Okay. But let's do it just for fun, shall we? All right, here we go. What is a quartic? What's quartic mean? 4, 4th degree. So we're going to end up with x to the 4th. How many answers should you have for x to the 4th? 4. How many did it give me? 4. That makes sense. Okay. So where does negative 4 come from? X plus 4. How about negative 3? X minus 1. X minus 4. How do I multiply all that together? Beautiful. So let's start with the back 2. We'll start just the same way we started over here. So x times x. X times negative 4. Negative 1 times x. Negative 1 times negative 4. Put your like terms together. X squared minus 5x plus 4. So I multiplied the back 2. What do you want to do next? You could multiply the first 2. It's an option. If I want to stay consistent to what I was doing over here, what would I do? I'm going to bring the x plus 3 down. And I'm going to multiply those. You're a popular person. All right, here we go. Let's multiply these. X times x squared. X times negative 5x. Negative 5x squared. X times 4. 3 times x squared. 3 times negative 5x. 3 times 4. 12. When they're starting to get a little lengthy, it's probably nice to kind of do the stack approach there on those. Putting our like terms together. X cubed minus 2x squared minus 11x plus 12. Have I used everything yet? I'm sorry. I want to drop down the x plus 4 because I haven't used him yet. And now we'll multiply there. It is. It's a whole lot. I'm going to switch colors. X times x cubed. X times negative 2x squared. X times negative 11x. X times 12. This is fun, right? 4 times x cubed. 4 times negative 2x squared. Don't forget the x. 4 times negative 11x. 4 times 12. 40. Thanks, Jeremy. Oh, she's answering everything. I don't know. All right, put it all together. So we have x to the 4th. We have a positive 2x squared, or cubed. Negative 19x squared. Negative 32x plus 48. But it is an x to the 4th. Whew, a lot of multiplying. Hard? Yeah. Tedious? Yeah, it is. What happens if you miss one negative sign in the very beginning? Everything's wrong. Yeah, so when you guys miss these on a quiz or a test, I gotta go back and figure out, were you clueless or did you just miss like a minus sign somewhere? So don't miss those, okay? Saves me a lot of grading time. You guys want to try one on your own? Yes, you'd love to. All right, number 10 on your own. That's not a bad one at all. Number 10. All right, let's take a look through number 10 and see how we did. They look pretty good. All right, so y equals, girls, where does 0 come from? Just an x. How about 1? 7? Hopefully we at least got that part done. I hope. That's the easy part. Starting with the back, x times x. X times negative 7. Negative 1 times x. Negative 1, negative 7. Like terms, x squared minus 8x plus 7. Drop that down, and now we multiply. So y equals x cubed like terms? Good. X cubed minus 8x squared plus 7x. Yay? Do we need to see one more, or are we good? Awesome.